Now I've got to try and work out how best to cut this stuff, because it's pretty damn hard, and try and take it down to our marks and make it into a nice fitting joint. So we cut out the scarf extremely roughly with the chainsaw, and then took a bit more off with the skill saw and a big chisel. But what I'm doing now is just planing the top corners down to the line where I want to bring the wood eventually. When I've got that line nice and defined, then I can start to bring down the centre, and it'll be easier to tell if I'm going too far. So this timber, Purpleheart, is one of the nicest timbers available for this sort of work. It's stable, it's really strong, it's really heavy, it's perfect for centerline really. The only problem with it is that it's hard to get it in big sweeps, so for framing and stem pieces it's not so good because the grain tends to be very straight. But for a keel it's pretty much perfect. It doesn't have that oiliness that teak does, so it's possibly not quite as rot resistant in the long term, but it's still pretty rot resistant, being so dense. So this is Bram.
How's it going?
A fisherman and a woodworker from Cascades, right?
Yeah, I like to think so.
Just come down to stay here and is helping me out for a few days.
Well, I haven't really gotten any formal like woodworking training, so I've kind of just taught myself through YouTube. And yeah, I don't know, I just found your project one day and started following it. Then I figured out you were actually in Washington, so I was like, well, might as well come up and see if he needs any help.
And I do. We're going to try and get these two timbers into the shed. we did it just in time because they're in and now it started raining straight away. So it's amazing what you can do with a couple of bars and some rollers, but it's not quick, it takes a bit of time. Well, I think it's big enough. Now, I think the best large power planes are probably the huge Margita ones, which are similar width but much longer base, but they're about double the price, so I opted to go for this one, hoping that it would do the trick. Right, well, it's another rainy day and I'm still working on these scarves. Hopefully get them finished today. It's going well, taking a bit longer than it should. A few interruptions, but that's okay. But this timber is just beautiful. It's pretty hard on your tools. You have to resharpen your tools every half an hour or less.
Ngol ra hang chê chẳng tang sre pe yon ngol ra hang.
Thanks a lot, really
yeah, of
appreciate
course.
it.
Yeah,
And,
I'm sure I'll be back.
Come back in a few weeks, few months.
Yeah, sounds good.
Summer.
Chê chẳng tang sre kan dong do ma pan chê ni ngan pal yot yon chum tang chê chê thầm lời ngân rao đong yon yot ngol ra hang chê chẳng tang sre pe yon ngol ra hang chê chẳng tang sre pan yot yon do ma pan chê ni ngan pal yot.
So I dropped the two pieces together and it's not too bad, but it needs a little bit of trimming, so just taking a few measurements and you're going to flip it over, trim a bit off, and then hopefully it will fit nice and snug when it goes back together.
Chum tang chê chê tâm lời ngân rao đong yon
So I'm still working on this big hook scarf. Now I'm just trimming it down a little bit and hopefully next time it will go back together nice and tight. Poncho's been hanging out a little bit, but it's probably getting a bit cold for her, so she's going to go inside now. But she's showing off. Look at that. There we go.
Anh tép vào hột chê tấm chong cánh năng đàng kẹt nhom răng chê ta lô rep cướp yốt yồn đáp nhâm rèn chế ta cùng đám măng đào mẹ tiếng lái ở chế tăng lang ôn bồi dồn mẹ tiếng nhầm chế tăng lang chẳng thang ấy dồn mẹ chế chẳng ở chế tăng lang ôn rồi ở dồn đi đâu tao ở chế tao trường màรับnhấp đào dập tel tao đắng chế bal ngang răng căng ở dồn anh băng tel tay ở chế cha tiêm rạch plaj ở dồn cha tel sạch ở chế bấy tiêm rong lộc chế con tel.
Well, it's another rainy morning here, cold and rainy.
Ở chế cha tiêm là nhar ở dồn cụ ta sar ai bar klang rạch vạch ở chế Tránh ma hè ở chế call anh nhưng mà rõ ở dồn Tránh ma ở chế call anh nhưng mà rong ở dồn Cô bạn play phong ở chế rong anh chặt mặt ở dồn
So it's just raining and raining and raining. It's really miserable. Making working very difficult. Well, I'm fairly happy with my scarf for now, so I've yet to bolt the scarf through, but once that's done and it's all tight and nice, then I can face the four sides and then start measuring and marking out from the old keel. And then I plan to lift the boat up slightly, build a bit of a cradle around it so support it as much as possible, while I essentially cut all the fastenings that hold the old keel on. That old keel will come down, I'll roller it off basically. The new one will be jacked up next to it, already cut to shape, and then slid across into the space where the old one was. It'll be jacked up against the bottom of the floors and the frames, then the whole boat will be lowered down with the new keel back onto the chocks, and then she'll have a new keel. So that's really exciting. In case anyone's interested, these two pieces of Purpleheart cost just over $6,000 US, and that was from Edensaw, which is a fairly local wood supplier. Just about the two biggest pieces of wood they have, I think. For what it is, and for what it's gonna do to the boat and to my peace of mind when she's eventually sailing, you know, I think it's money very well spent, and I don't think I'm going to regret it at all. And the old keel will definitely be used for whatever I can use it for. Hopefully I can mill it into boards and use it for interior joinery or something like that. You know, as little as possible will be wasted. This is now one very long piece of Purpleheart. Well, it's about 34, 35 feet, I think. So anyway, it's long enough to replace the keel, hopefully. So that's it for now, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. Massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting the project so far. It really means a lot to me and makes a big difference to how things can progress, and it means I'm actually able to take the time to make these videos, so thanks a lot. Received a couple of things which people have bought off my Amazon wish list, which is very generous, thank you. Some of them arrived without the information about who sent them, so if someone bought me something and didn't receive a thank you note from me, it's not because I'm ungrateful. Just send me an email and let me know what you bought. That would be great and I can thank you for it. Alright, well, I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.